Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Anca and I do art and illustration related videos and sometimes tattoo related videos. So if you're into that, make sure you subscribe and check out the other videos on my channel. So today we're in a bit of a different setting. I thought I would do kind of an update video about my tattoo journey. It's now been a year since I've been tattooing full time. And I wanted to share with you guys some things that I have learned throughout this year, some tips I could give first year tattooers, and also share with you some of my favorite tattoo projects from this year and how it has been for me financially and mentally. For those of you who don't know the backstory, in August of last year I decided to quit my full 9-to-5 job, which I had for 10 years, and I decided to start tattooing full time. Now, before I did decide to tattoo full time, I was an apprentice at a shop for a year prior to that, so I had time to learn a bit about tattooing and to actually be able to do a tattoo on skin. So one of the things that I struggled with and still struggle to this day with is getting clients. Now, this is something that first year tattoo artists will be struggling for sure, unless they live in like an area where there aren't many tattoo shops open and you are basically the only choice there. Then you will probably find it hard to get clients into your shop. Now, I live in a small town where there are quite a few tattoo shops, and most tattooers have been doing it for over 10 years. So me coming into this industry was a bit difficult to infiltrate and kind of get new clients into my shop. I do have a video on tips on how you can get clients where I talk about setting up social media and having a Google business account and stuff like that. So if you're interested, then it will be somewhere on the screen. Another thing I realized after this year is that it's good before you take this step in your life to have kind of a security blanket financially. By that I mean you need to save up some money for at least 6 months where you can pay your rent and pay your bills in case things don't work out. So basically I had a savings account where I put some money towards this goal, where I knew I would quit my job, and I also knew that things won't be amazing in the first months, especially since it was quite hard to get clients in the first month. One tip you will take away from this video is before doing anything like this, where you change your career 180 degrees, is to have like a savings account dedicated for this period of transition in your life. Tattooing is quite an interesting job where you have to deal a lot with people. So for me personally, it was quite hard in the first few months, getting used to talking to people while tattooing, getting used to being social. I am personally a pretty introverted person and I don't really like to talk to people I don't know. But somehow I managed to find the strength in me to be able to tattoo and talk to people and ask them questions about their life and try to make them at ease during the tattoo session. So this is something you need to keep in mind, that dealing with people is part of this job, and if you're not equipped to do that, or you're not willing to learn how to do that, then maybe this is not the job for you. So this year has been definitely with ups and downs. I definitely had a period where I was questioning my decision and thinking, oh man, did I even do the right thing, quitting a job that was fully secure financially? This took a big toll on my mental health for a couple of months, especially because I wasn't getting many clients at that time and I was struggling to book appointments. I also had some tattoos that were not healing great. So these are things you will come across, especially during your first year. One thing I would recommend is you take care of your mental health and take care of your physical health as well. I personally started working out because after long hours of tattooing, you will have back pain no matter what. I don't even know an artist out there that doesn't have back pain. So I started going twice a week to a fitness group, and I also started therapy for a while, which did help. And I also talked to friends and family about my struggles, and I opened up that I am struggling right now and it's hard for me to keep going if I am in this mental state. So please be aware of your mental state, because tattooing is a very difficult job. It's so gratifying, but it's so hard at times, and you will need to take care of yourself in order to be able to do a good job while tattooing. Another thing I have learned this year is that not all tattoos you will do will be a perfect work of art. Not all tattoos will be in your style. Actually, most tattoos won't be in your style, especially during the first year. And sometimes you'll have to do some shitty tattoos just to make a living, or some shitty ideas, or some, I don't know, things you don't necessarily resonate with. The thing for me is I changed my mental state, and I try to think of each tattoo as the last tattoo I will be doing, and I try to give it my best. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes tattoos don't heal that great. Either it's from my application or from aftercare of the client. And you will need to be able to deal with these things on a daily basis, and you will need to offer clients retouches if they are not happy with it, and you will need to deal with feelings of not being good enough. So keep in mind that whenever you're starting a new skill or a new job, you will fuck up sometimes, and that's just part of it. And try not to be so hard on yourself that you push yourself into a corner and you end up in depression. Another thing you will probably need to do is learn new techniques on the go. I personally barely have the time to practice new skills on fake skin, so sometimes a tattoo will come up and I will try to learn as I go, which sounds kind of bad for the client. Sometimes it works out, sometimes not so much. And yeah, you will have to be able to trust yourself that you are able to do this job, and you'll have to learn very fast and quick if you want to evolve. So my main takeaway from this past year is that I tried to not be so hard on myself. After all, I did start my own business this past year, and I did start tattooing for only 2 years. So mistakes will happen and things will not be perfect at first, but you have to keep pushing through. You have to be willing to learn at all times from your mistakes and from other tattooers. And just don't give up, basically, is what I'm trying to say. For me, it has been a pretty difficult year, and it also has been a very gratifying year because even though I'm not making as much money as I was before at my 9-to-5 job, I have the satisfaction that I'm doing it all on my own. I have the satisfaction when I see clients happy with their tattoo, and when I get messages that they love the experience and they want to get more. So just try to focus on the positive things. It will be hard, I'm not gonna lie to you. And it definitely still is at times. There are days when I don't feel that I'm capable of doing this job, but I try to push it aside and try not to listen to my inner saboteur, and I try to keep a positive mind. One of my favorite projects this year was this liminal spaces kind of contemporary tattoo. It's similar to something I did before, but I kind of elevated the style, and I used some of my favorite colors. If you follow me for my illustrations, you know that these are my favorite colors. And I think the tattoo turned out great. I love the composition. I incorporated some dot work in it, and the client was very happy with it. Another tattoo I did was this kind of Celtic portrait of a, I don't even know what to call it, shaman lady with botanical elements. This is something I did on a friend, and he gave me full liberty with the design. So I think this also turned out pretty good. Unfortunately, the green did not heal up very vibrant, so we'll need to go with a second pass on it. However, I love the design, I love the composition, and I think it's a pretty cool tattoo. I also did this bug tattoo recently. It's kind of a decorative bug tattoo. I kind of love it because, again, the client gave me full liberty to do whatever I wanted with the design. She just shared the idea with me. And again, I incorporated some of my favorite colors, some decorative elements, some dot work and stipple shading, and I think it's one of my favorite tattoos. I also did my first watercolor style, and fortunately it was a cat watercolor style. And this was my first full color tattoo, and I was so nervous doing it. I remember that I was like, I don't even know if I can do this tattoo, but thankfully I pulled through. I think I could have improved on some of the areas and blends, but overall I think it's a very nice tattoo, and again, the client loves it, which is what is most important to me. And last but not least is something I did very recently. I did this koi fish tattoo. Now the design is not mine. The client kind of gave me the design, and I was like, okay, I would love to try doing a Japanese tattoo. Again, I was very nervous going into this session because this was a style I hadn't done before. There was a lot of detail to put into it. The tattoo took about 6 hours, which I think is pretty decent considering the amount of detail. And yeah, I think it turned out pretty cool. And the client loved it so much that he decided to get a full sleeve and his full back done at me, which is kind of a major step into my career because this is something I wanted. I want to build up a clientele that comes regularly to me. I want to build relationships with clients that I resonate with, and this is a kind of a realization to me. This has been my year of tattooing full time. Again, I still struggle with this lifestyle. My 9-to-5 job was like I go to the office, I come back, and then I work on illustrations, and that's it. Now I have to deal with talking to clients, designing, and tattooing. It's kind of a lot if you're not into it 100%, but it's totally worth it in the end if you really love this industry. So don't give up, keep practicing. Don't give up even if your tattoo didn't come up perfectly. Tattoos can always be touched up or reworked. So try to tattoo more on your friends in the beginning and try to be confident in yourself because that really helps with your tattooing skills. So thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear from you in the comments, and I will try to upload more illustration related things as well in the future. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.